There's a lot of people who seek certain concepts or aspects come to life when watching a film such as a MCU film. When you step into the theater, you know the stories that Disney Plus puts out for you, such as Loki, for example, or for any understandable reason you don't have access to it, so you walked in theater with limited information. Antman and the Wasp became a film that I've been interested in since we knew who the villain would be, which is Kang, the perfect character to introduce P5's Multiverse Saga. Also find Sky and Cassie's bond being a really important part of Scott's character and journey throughout this story, and also the fact that Marvel Studios decided to cast a new Cassie for Marvel for this film is because they wanted to do so. People watched it all the way and felt unsatisfied. They watched halfway and became confused to the point where they tried this film the depth of their MCU's love to basically die out, never giving the rest of the film or the opportunity to have a second chance, because they felt like that was the second chance, and they are basically wishing the MCU good luck or goodbye, such a way where they just want to give up. Character-wise, new characters got introduced to the point come up way so unnecessary to the story, to where you go with the characters to the point where you feel like they stretched the filler out of this film. Basically, it's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of things that they juggled all throughout the film, and it was too much for them to handle. It really does feel like it was that way. This film was 2 hours 5 minutes long, to the point where it reviews the storytelling really well. It drove in flow really well, and gave a lot of characters the characters that deserve to be in the story really well. However, for example, for the Wasp, it didn't really give that spotlight and attention for her to the point where she was on the side, even though she was wound up. She's in the title of the film. Scott with a rat starting the time machine, help him save the universe and bring back people from the blip and actually risk his life and he wanted the Avengers to face the failures and also face Thanos in Endgame, which they won only for his family, including Cassie, who in Endgame, Cassie was relieved that Scott survived, and only it's weird that in this film, in the beginning of the film, everyone in Scott's family, including Cassie, basically mocks him for not doing much after the blip, especially the fact that he saved the universe and he did the podcast he wrote, but he helped the Avengers out, and which is a really risky move, especially him going into the quantum realm again to time travel, and probably never seen his family again. Hank, Janet, and Hope were all involved in talking down to Scott to the point where they go so low under the ball where it made me wonder why didn't they see that Scott was the only one of the Avengers who actually cared to save the universe. He is the one who pushed the Avengers to actually do the mission and basically convince Tony to learn about the time travel and quantum aspects of all that. But all that would have been fun. They will continue doing nothing if it wasn't for Scott showing up in Endgame in their Avengers headquarters. By the way, I also assume that Cassie's mom was also blimped since she wasn't mentioned that much at all in this film. She probably was mentioned in the film, just not too much. Usually the family jokes about Scott and his skills every now and then, but it's all really, for me, that it was, it's like as if Scott was part, it's in the joke as well. He knows that they were just fooling around. However, in the beginning, it felt like he was tested out, and all because of the stuff that he wanted to do, and it just made no sense, especially with Cassie Lane hitting Scott hard with the insults there. That was a little out of touch there. This that I really love was Scott and Cassie's father and daughter dynamic, and the way they were there for each other, and that's something I actually admire. I just wish they didn't have that stuff in between. I love that they learned for each other and they rooted for each other, and that means a lot to me because I see a bond between those two that will never break or fall off, except for the part between. Just have to mention that, and yeah, hopefully they didn't get past that and never mention that stuff in between again. I admire the bond Scott had with Cassie, and I love who she can become with Scott's guidance, and Scott has really made an impact in her life in some way. How about her building the subatomic Hubble telescope to make a map to study the quantum realm? It's like how they map oceans and space above orbit. I find that fascinating, and remember Hank and Hope provided her knowledge in helping bring that device to its functions in reality for it to work. The ending of Shang-Chi, where they were trying to send a signal, I wonder if that was Kang who has done that. However, I don't believe so, because this is a different timeline after Sylvie told He Who Remains, so I believe that whoever was trying to send a signal with the 10 rings, it wasn't really explored or explained or discovered in this film. So hopefully they possibly do that in Ms.Marvel, where they talked about her Biglet. However, I'm not sure if they would notice that. However, Captain Marvel was in the ending of Shang-Chi, so maybe she should mention that to Kamala about the signal going through like the rings, and probably having like telling her like the similarities of the possibility of the power that the Biglet hold, especially with the fact that it could also deal with maybe magic. Just one was one who was able to discover it. However, I did some magic. However, I didn't like something cosmic or something like that, or quantum. But yeah, hopefully they explain that in the future. We know it wasn't Cassie was trying to send a signal, because it was the other way around. I assume it would have been Kane or someone from that city we saw in Antman 2 when Hank was trying to find Janet within the quantum realm. That could be it, but I don't think so. The Multiverse engine was trying to locate somewhere outside the quantum realm, which was outside of time. However, I was never explained on what it was and what the purpose of all that is. So if anyone can guess. However, the quantum realm looks remarkable in ways I couldn't imagine when I could see it. You see, certain parts of it were, in the beginning it was dark, and as I understand it, the quantum realm isn't all bright in certain places. However, we need to see it to enjoy it, and especially when Janet was facing the creatures in the beginning, I could barely see. I thought there was something wrong with my glasses, but let me know if that was a problem of you guys in between, if you were able to see anything was happening. I did see the landscape, however, really well. It's just that when the Janet was dealing with the creatures, it was a little off. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. Alright, so time works definitely for everyone who ends up in a quantum realm. Janet has been there for 30 years and has been gone for 30 years in real life. And if you remember what Scott said about 5 years and 5 hours then that he's been through, and when he was in a quantum realm, and she meets Kane in this timeline, and she tells Hank that she was with someone because she felt lonely. I assume she'll be talking about Kane. However, she didn't seem like they were Dyne. Yes, she opened up to Kane and told him about her little jelly bean, about which is Hope, when they were playing hide and seek in between of second Antman film. The conversation about Hank and Janet feeling apart for so long went nowhere, and they didn't mention it again. So that was wondering why it was necessary for that to talk about. However, it does bring up the point of was Kang in a relationship with Janet. Anyone who's from the future here, I want to talk about that the part that was confusing was the whole fact of Janet and Kang possibly in a relationship. It turns out it was now I'm taking care of it. It was actually the dude Bill Murray played. So that's why it was confusing. So I mentioned it somewhere in the video. So just switch that with the Bill Murray character itself, Kang. Like, something that occurred to me is that the fact that Scott was in the quantum realm for 5 hours was because he entered a time vortex. You probably heard a lot of people mention that online, and the fact that could be why time was different in the quantum realm. However, that's the thing that made that those words came from Scott in Endgame, because the fact is that he probably told Janet off screen about the fact that he was there for 5 hours, and so she warned him about the time vortex. It's the night he was able to, yell at. There's no way for him to be brought back to Earth. So because Janet got dusted with Hope and Hank and the other thing, what I'm trying to say is the fact that maybe Scott was in the quantum realm for so long to the point where he was in a way pushed to another point and dropped him another part within the quantum realm. I'm assuming that's what happened if he ended up going to a time vortex. For example, if they didn't get dusted, maybe Janet was able to bring them back before it was too late. So in a way, maybe Janet somehow knew there's a possibility that Scott would have been pushed into the time vortex or something, or quantum vortex. Let me know what I think about that, because that's really interesting how that really plays out really well. Janet was keeping so many secrets about the quantum realm and Kang that she never told anyone about the dangerous situation anyone to be facing. I assume she learned in secret how to locate where in the quantum realm she was. So once Scott went in the quantum realm, that quantum particles for ghosts, she didn't mind him going because she knew that there's no way for Scott to come across or interact with Kang whatsoever. Janet was able to navigate Scott somewhere far away from Kang, and my theory is that she was okay to let Scott go in, because after what Sylvie did, after Sylvie killed He Who Remains, the timeline basically became a different timeline to the original timeline. Remember that this happened in the second Antman film, where she lets Scott go in the quantum realm for the ghost particles, the quantum particles for ghosts. So maybe that was before Sylvie killed He Who Remains. So maybe in that timeline she never interacted with Kang. However, I feel because of what Sylvie did, the timeline basically became a different timeline where the variance still had basically resetted itself. So they probably casted that guy out, that version of Kang out. However, it doesn't explain in the show Loki, when they were in Citadel, was it a broken statue, like a broken pillar? I believe that was supposed to represent this version of Kang. However, each theory of how that version of Kang entered the quantum realm is anyone's guess as well. So let me guess. I believe that the other Kangs from the post-credit scene, they probably knew there was a quantum vortex, so they were able to exile, aka push this version of Kang out into to a certain point in the quantum realm. So they probably knew, they probably have the quantum realm mapped out themselves in some way. Who knows about that? However, that happening would debunk the idea of us seeing this film in a second timeline branch. So this is confusing of how this version of Kang is able to be with Janet for 30 years versus the original timeline. However, it's possible that either way it will have been both. So either way, maybe there's a possibility that Janet will be lying either way, and like I mentioned before, maybe there's the fact that there's a part in there's a point of view I mentioned that the fact that maybe Janet may not mention Kang to Antman at all. So let me know what you think about that, because it's very interesting how the quantum realm works. I feel like it feel like if you know a lot about the quantum realm in the MCU, for the characters in the MCU, they know certain parts of it and certain ways to use it to their advantage. Keep in mind when I say that the original timeline or second timeline is the same MCU timeline that we know. However, this is where this new one is where Loki took the Tesseract instead of ending up in Asgard, and they were basically in a new MCU timeline branch, which is where Loki ended up in the TVA and met Sylvie, and they were on their journey to find he who remains in as Sylvie. Now, and just keep that in mind, it's all the same timeline, just different at the same time. It seems so shady that Janet was hiding something really important in a way she was hiding it. So if that's stuff that we're learning about her, who knows what else she knows about the quantum realm that she didn't tell that the other characters, or in other words us. If she is hiding secrets, and imagine what will happen in Avengers Kang Dynasty when the other Avengers or Loki becomes unprepared. It should be too late, and they could have prevented it if Janet was willing to share any secrets about the stuff that happens in the quantum realm or anything like that. How about the timeline there? If you want to say the second timeline is a parallel timeline, it makes sense to see it that way. It's a mixed bag of when it comes to how it is, and also it's also a mixed bag of how you see Kang. If you believe that he's truly a evil, terrifying bad guy, this is where they have to show his potential that he has within him. Let me talk about Murdoch. Yeah, we don't have to. That is especially when he was killed off. Honestly, his death seemed like nothing. It meant nothing to Scott or his team, because they didn't continue to fight Kang to avenge Murdoch. They just dared to escape. I'm not saying they couldn't do that later on in Phase 5. They didn't want to make the fight. It's like they didn't make the fight worth it, like how the Avengers did with when they fought Thanos to avenge Black Widow, for example. How the Hulk said that they had to make it worth it. That was them talking about avenging fallen hero. That's it. You want to call Murdoch a hero or not, that's up to you. I'm just saying that they just moved on, and how they all moved on except for maybe Cassie to be the one who avenged him in the future, because she believed that he could be good and okay, not being a douchebag, and she is the only one who I felt like she drove, who listened to him, and vice versa in a way. It's up to you guys on how you see that. The other Kangs believed in the Multiverse engine killed him, which set them to start their battles over again to find the most powerful Kang, since the actions Sylvie did in Loki with He Who Remains made them basically start over on this timeline, which will affect the MCU's timeline they're currently on. It's kind of, the timeline is kind of new, but it's not at the same time. As I discussed earlier, the three main Kangs that we saw in the post-credit scene, they could be mistaken that he died and he could come back and haunt the other Kangs, and if he's able to escape the probability that Scott had gone through, Kang probably will understand later on, assuming he's probably going through right now. And when if he's able to get out, he could still have the multiverse engine and use it to his advantage, since he says the words again, and he did on his multiverse share. Scott feeling out of himself, and maybe made me believe that the journey of this Kang that we saw in this film isn't over, about the worst things in him that he's was talking to himself about in the ending. I do believe that as well. However, there could be a chance that this Kang should escape to the point where the quantum realm, he didn't escape the quantum realm and destroy Scott's friends, such as the other remaining Avengers. Scott mentioned the fact that worst things will happen since all the with this Kang has happened. So I try not to take back what I said about the fact that this Kang might be alive. However, it will be interesting in the fact that he's the only Kang that's been in the quantum realm. Like I said, he used the multiverse share or the multiverse engine to his advantage, and also the fact that the other Kangs haven't dealt with the multiverse. So maybe that's this Kang to dip inside to the other Kangs if he is still alive. So who knows if that will happen at all. A lot of things in this film was introduced in this film that felt a little cluttered in this film, which probably overwhelmed the audience to the point where they gave up on the MCU, which is understandable. We've been watching the MCU for a really long time. They need to move on to the next step without cramming so much. Like they did Phase 4 in MCU, some will never come back to the next MCU film, and some may give it another chance already because of how the MCU has involved their lives for all these years, and they want to see them. They want the MCU to do the best to entertain them and the hardcore fans. So that's the thing about this film or the MCU timeline. Are you going to continue to watch the MCU Multiverse Saga going forward? Are you up for the next project that we're going to be doing? And I really believe that the Multiverse Saga has a lot of potential to become a brilliant concept, as long as they learn from this film and learn how people reacted to this film and how they did move forward, and see what needs to balance the projects out without having so much in their plate. I'm going to look forward to seeing what Loki talked about next, even the timelines branching and their version of that person, that Kang variant that they'll be dealing with, and providing us more detail about the multiversal war, especially that story not again. So yeah, let me know if I left anything out. I would love to hear in the comments. Let me know what you think about this review. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to share it, and I'll see you soon.